Good morning. I'm starting to knock things off of my bucket list. One of those things is an Ironman. I am someone who hasn't really focused on endurance. I've neglected it. I've made fun of it. And I made fun of it because I'm uncomfortable. Like, I'm one of those guys that would say, like, fuck cardio. In the past, I got better at it as I did CrossFit for the past few years. But it's time to admit that I'm just uncomfortable with it, that I'm scared. And one of those things is officially signed up for Ironman Texas 2024. And I'm going to start vlogging more about the training. And I got to put ego aside a lot of times and understand that when you suck at something, you can't go. So I've done things differently this time. I'm slowly easing to it. I actually have 2 marathons this year. I got one coming on the 4th of July, so that's kind of how I eased into the endurance. And then I went and got a run analysis. I've gotten a swim coach, the most uncomfortable part. Like, I grew up swimming, but not 2.5 miles for time kind of swimming. But something like an Ironman takes a lot of time. We are like 50 weeks away from Ironman Texas. I do have a triathlon coming up, so I wanted to start training. I'm going to do different things here or there. But time is something that is always going to be a problem when you're training for something like this. And if it's going to be for the next year, I can't always get all of my training in, and I can't have it stress me out. There's so much mental aspect of endurance that I've learned. Like in CrossFit, for example, I can hold the suck for 15, 20 minutes, at most maybe 45 minutes in a workout, and then you're done. But when you're swimming, biking, running for extended periods of time, over an hour, and that's pretty minimal, you really have to get into a good mental space. So you can't be thinking about things like, I've got financial issues, I've got different obligations, social, family, whatever. You got to put yourself in a good headspace, because you can't afford in training or during the race to have any sort of outside influence where you just want to quit. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to break world records here. Like, I'm trying to just have a realistic goal target for my first Ironman, and something that also fits in with the training that I'm able to do. Like, I'm not a professional. I've got to fit in my consulting / business development job. I've got YouTube that I'm trying to build and grow as a business. I've got social obligations. So this is the easing into it and figuring out how it's going to fit into my life, and just slowly building in. So it's just not the physical fitness aspect. There goes my dog outside. She had a nice little walk this morning. It's the building into the mental and the time obligation aspects. By the way, I will do a supplement video. Don't you worry. But cheers to my Athletic Greens, not sponsored, big fan. And creatine, there, little sneak peek.
Yeah.
All right, we got to change. So one thing that was super important to me in life is being able to do the things I want to do and figuring out ways to make that happen. Sorry, it's dark. And one of those things was taking a huge pay cut so I could work for a company that allowed me to do those things, and working full-time remote. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is I gotta change. During my training, what a weird angle, is I work from home. I don't have any kids. I am dating, and I have a dog. That's like pretty much the only like dependence that I have is my dog. But that's the whole point, right? Like, if you want to do something, you got to figure it out. Of course, that's easier said than done, and it's easier for me as someone without kids to say. Just her. But again, that's the whole point. That's why I'm doing this. If I had different obligations, if I had other things that I needed to worry about, then I would still be doing the same process and figure out how it's going to fit into my life. I do everything by checking boxes, and that's what I'm doing right now. So, oh, you know what? Here, let's go back here. Let me show you something. I have a playful pup this morning. I'm gonna hire a coach, but it's kind of what I'm working off of, this free training plan, and just pretty much 2-a-days. So my workouts have consisted of, hard to see there, long runs on Sundays and a swim. But today, Tuesday, we have a bike, 40 minutes, and then we have an interval swim later. So it's just trying to figure out how I can check the boxes and get it done today. Should better have been focused. On get some shit. See, random crap and annoyances that come your way. I use an older iPad for Zwift, which is the training program that is tied to my bike trainer, and it's dead somehow. Like, I used it, I closed it. It should have closed, but I think for whatever reason it stayed open and just drained the battery. So that's something that sucks. What I'm going to do is, I guess, get another computer. Already monitored. Yes. So one thing I do is I look at my schedule to see where I'm going to fit in my workouts, but I didn't prep anything. The night before, I should just have everything set up. That way I just come in, set it all up, and then go. Now I've wasted so much time that I need to get going. So time to work out.
I don't think everybody out there that has some opportunity to build toys for people, everybody else is very supportive.
Test. Funny thing is, it kept popping up with hey, keeping active during pregnancy is a good thing. And I didn't read what this workout was. I'm new to Swift, and I just chose the first 40-minute one because I was supposed to do 40 minutes a day. So I am a strong woman staying active during pregnancy. This shit right here, Never Ask Coffee. Want to support the channel? Hit in the link, and a entrepreneur. I mean, he's pretty much a team of one. Also good. Too precise with my measurements, but I like to estimate and track. Alright, I mentioned earlier, work always comes first. So training has to go around that as well as YouTube. But the good thing about being able to choose my YouTube is two birds with one stone with this. So doing a vlog, doing some of the content, I'm able to tackle the training as well as create YouTube videos, YouTube reviews, vlogs, whatever at the same time. But work always comes first. So today's a 2-a-day. The schedule showed earlier that 40-minute bike ride, and then I have 1,100 meter swim later today. My preference is lunchtime, and that way I have, after I get off work, completely free. However, I was getting email alerts, and my work schedule is completely packed. So it looks like I'm going to be working from now until at least in meetings till 3 p.m. and wrapping up things. So looks like I'm gonna have to wait till after work. And again, that's just the way it goes. If I want to get my training in, then I got to fit it in where I can and just be mentally okay with it. So I'm gonna eat, drink, however, and get to work. And I'll see you guys later. Absolute non-negotiable. Rain or shine, hot or cold, Indy gets at least 3 to 4 walks a day, quarter mile apiece. And it's good for my mental health while I'm working and focusing so much. Okay, she's stopping. To me, that brings up another important point when you're doing something like Ironman training and how it affects your life is it can be exhausting. So getting the right nutrition, getting the right programming, doing everything correctly, because it needs to be additive and it can't subtract anything that you normally have that are your obligations. So I want to make sure that because I'm too tired, it doesn't mean that she doesn't get her walks that she normally does. Very important point. All right, good job. Back to work. All right, we are at LA Fitness to get my second workout of the day, swimming. I was supposed to have some meetings that got rescheduled to much later. I handle the Western states for my job out of the Central Time Zone here in Austin, Texas. So it's gonna be a late night of work, but I had an opening and I wanted to rush off and get about a 40-minute swim workout in, so let's go get it done. Today's workout is for distance. So as far as swims go, that one was not the best, but what I did learn was I had a gentleman in my lane who was really stirring up the water, so it was good to not have to swim in like flatter water, and everybody just so encouraging in that pool. There was an older gentleman who's been swimming like 15 years and he was just being really encouraging, and then the guy that was in my lane that does triathlons, he was super encouraging, giving me a lot of tips. And that's one thing I found with all this endurance stuff. I mean, even in CrossFit, everybody's super welcoming, but in the endurance realm, it's pretty solo. But when you encounter people out on a trail, biking, swimming at the gym, everyone's just like super supportive and just cheering each other on, because really you're competing against yourself when you're doing these competitions. And if you just want to encourage people and just be really happy, and everybody just seems happy doing endurance stuff, again, I've talked about mental health in another video, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun community to be around. And I'm just, not the greatest swim, but they all can't be the best. I'm just looking for the positives, and I'll get after it again this week. All right, no real ending to this video, except I got done exactly what I wanted to, and I just wanted to show you how I'm going about it, how I'm approaching it. And I had two goals today. I had to get my bike done and I had to get my swim done, whatever that took, without sacrificing work, because that's priority. Doing YouTube stuff, any other social obligations, that all needs to be taken care of, and still get it done. I mean, there's so much time in the day, but just finished lunch actually, and that's just what it's gonna take. I'm just gonna not stress about it. Things are gonna get done. I batch, I make lists, and that's what this video is all about. So this is the pre-training leading into the actual Ironman training. So I wanna iron things out mentally and just understand how I'm gonna get things done. So that's it for this video, and we'll vlog more later.